let's make our way over to the museum. It's the expedition, but I like calling it the museum. The museum sounds cooler, doesn't it, Mum? But apparently this is really good, and I can't wait. Can't wait to see it. Oh, there's the towers. That's the Alton Towers. It's actually inside of the Alton Towers as well. So that's the rules. We will not be touching any of it. And here's the queue. I will see you inside. This is cool. It's the dog. Is that the, that's the old tickets. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Inside the actual towers. Wow. That's cool. Look how cool this is, Mum. The history. I'm going to take some photos. I'll be back. Look how cool this is. The gardeners, that's what we like to see. They're so cool. Look at the old map. Yeah. Some old audio as well. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's so cool. Into the main bit now. Admission with some park maps. Oh, that must be old. 1991. And the iconic Nemesis. The corkscrew. Dad actually went on the corkscrew. It's so cool. And then a bit about the actual history itself. Sorry, let me put it back down. Oh, that's cool. I quite like that old sign. Right, it's there, if I could get my finger in the camera. There. Tickets from 1995. A bit about the army. Some helmet, a costume helmet for corkscrew. Back in the early 90s, start of the late 80s. Oh, actually 1999. Which is really cool. Look how cool this is. Some of this has been never seen before to the public eye until yesterday and today. Do you want to buy a packet of crisps with Henry Hound on them from all those years ago? Comic. That's quite cool, the Christmas festival. Well, what was that? Mum's doing a dance. Some clothing. Quickly going to look at this because this looks cool. I would love that to be a poster in my room. That's cool. He kept a dual gun from the sale. That's cool. Just going to budge along from Grace. Sorry, Grace. That is an old photo. I wouldn't mind that as a car either. The Worm. Theme Park Worldwide has that. Theme Park Worldwide has the Worm. I don't know what his actual name is, but the log flume before Wicker Man. And right next to us is the black hole. Oh, actual corkscrew. That's quite cool. Actual corkscrew paint. The original Nemesis head with Mum. That's really cool. I'm so happy they kept that. Wow. And then we'll follow it up with one of, if not the best ride at the park, Oblivion. The station concept and some of the uniform. Look how cool they are. Wow. control room actually used to be there. Oh, it's cool to see how they changed it. That's also cool. It seems like it's ended up being like the vampire back at Chesington. Some more Ripsaw merch. The chained oak. That's quite cool.
This poor person and me, I'm in his way constantly.
Followed up with more theming. Forbidden Weapon 1. That's quite cool. Some stuff from the hotel back in the early 90s. And then we fall into the much beloved Nemesis. Look how cool that is. And then, you know what's going to be my favourite part? The ride parts. Look how cool that is. And it's got the list. There will be numbers to tell us which one's which. That's so cool. And then we fall over to Rita and 13, which is really cool. Ah, the Smiler. And Galactica, which was originally called Air. And then it falls over to Oblivion. That's really cool. And then over to the Smiler, one of the newest additions, which is a fan favourite. Fold over to Nemesis, which is really cool as well. Look how cool that is. Super cool. And then right back up is another part of the theme into Nemesis, the Nemesis egg. Look how cool that is. And some Nemesis dog tags with the comic, which is really cool. Look how cool the comic is. And then we fall over to Oblivion, which, if I think that's correct, right round there is the Oblivion condoms. That's quite nice, isn't it? This falls back over to Air at the bottom. Oh, and the Wicker Man. Look how cool it is. Closer look towards the comics. I really want a comic, but they're going for quite a lot online. Should we fall over to the jelly? I don't know what the jelly is. But here's a closer look. Is the Oblivion condoms, which is a bit awkward. If you go down, you've got that one of the wooden. Yes, one looks like that with the crisps. The phalanx of the haunted house, right there. With more Wicker Man art. With Toyland. Followed up with some more blueprints, which is really cool. Wow. Got it? Yes. And then the screaming head right here. The haunted house before it turned into doors. With some printing of design, the concept, which is really cool. And then some special editions of names and their tags from quite a long time ago. I wonder when John gave his in. That's really cool. And the latest being priced with the phalanx. I quite like the tie. The tie is quite cool. The corkscrew. With a very old snow globe. Right over to some cool Alton Towers cars. And then the pottery. And some more design. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, is this the this is the monorail. A ride part of the monorail as well. And then the runaway mine train. Which is quite cool. Followed back to Henry Howe and to a monorail sign, which is predating to the 90s. That's cool. Back to some maps, which are quite cool. I can see why people collect the maps now, looking at almost every year. This is really cool. A box full of them. The hotel changed in 2009. Back at the bottom, with some photos from the park on its earlier years. Back with the handmade pottery. Just a hat. Don't mind a just a hat. A pick and mix bag. That is a proper early 2000s. That's 1998 to 1999. And there's an Alton Tower wine. And a Viewmaster. That must have been really cool. The 1980s. Which brings us to the refurbished roof, which is quite cool. And you could look up and look down immediately into the expedition. They've also got pre-shows going on both sides with some storytelling. Which, whilst exiting, get to see some of the over the years Oblivion sign from when it first opened. No, that's actually X No Way Out. I quite like the Henry Hound in the background with the wizard. And Rita back in 2005.